As the sun comes up and everyone is fully rested, Basil walks out of his tent and he sees the remains of the smoldering zombie corpse, and he says, "Oh my, did I miss something?"
Okay, we took care of it.
We didn't want to wake you.
I knew it was a good idea to hire you.
Trying to get a deer.
Goddamn deer.
I'm not sure what that means.
Oh, we had a friend come by, and we got a little too much meat, and, well, you know.
Okay. You city folk are strange. But it's only one more day. We should get there by dinner time. And then I'm sure we can find something from the Old Boar Inn. They make a mean stew, they do. Yes, they do. And dinner's on me for that. And he points at the zombie corpse again. But he goes about gathering up his tent, putting out the fire, and loading it up. And you set off along the road. The one wagon path road. And you don't see anybody on this road. Not that you'd expect to. But we do have one more encounter, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So, I assume this is the order that you guys are traveling in. Can you see you down here?
I can now.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm gonna. Okay, lighting's not off. Okay, I mean not on, so it shouldn't be. And you're coming up this road, one of the final stretches. Basil's guesstimating maybe another hour before you reach town, when you see barreling out of the sparse plants to the north side of the road a deer. And the deer is hauling ass, and behind it, bursting out of the trees as well, are 4 wolves. And as the deer goes bolting across the street, and the wolves are in hot pursuit, one of them kind of comes toward the road because it sees your group approaching, and just head down, haunches up.
That's my deer! And I'm ready for battle.
Good, you can have it. I'm going to roll for the deer, too.
Should, because that's
So,
what I'm
quick
attacking
question.
first.
Are we attacking the deer or the wolves?
The deer. That deer is going down.
I'll tell you, the deer is worth 10 XP, Jim. 10.
10,
whole
see?
XP with a challenge of 0.
See? We have to.
The deer is actually familiar.
Yes. All right. So let me do no more fire. No more day with fire. We want rat battle again.
Of history.
Yes, epic rat battles of history. Is everyone on the initiative tracker? Shadow, Grey Castle, Brutus, Tiberius. Yep, looks like you're all there. So this wolf in the back is going to move on the deer and attack it. And let's see, the deer might not make it past this first round. Nope, the deer has evaded this bite. Shadow.
Wait, evaded the fight as in gone?
No, the
Escaped?
bite.
Wolves. It's not bad. Rodent. That's what I'm see which one I'm indicating is the one that's closest to us.
Okay, you trying to scare them off?
I'm trying to get their attention so that they don't kill Varys's deer.
Oh, okay.
I feel like we can take these wolves.
I mean, he's been talking about this deer all night.
It's really he like
Gotta be a
burned
different
forest
deer
down.
by now. Well, it
Well,
might
I
be.
mean, it could be. It represents all of us.
Right. All right, make a ranged attack, like a dex. You could just roll your dagger skill. It's probably the same thing.
Yes.
So you kind of just whip it in that direction. This wolf's already looking at you, but the others don't seem to be phased at the moment. Grey Castle.
I'm gonna cast Sleep centered on this square so that it hits all the wolves.
And the deer. And the deer.
Here.
Maybe the deer.
All right, roll
Right.
2d8.
Alright.
Oh no, it's 5d8.
Indiscriminate carpet bombing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Starting with the lowest hit points first. So 24 hit points of creatures. Do they get a save or is it just automatic?
Automatic.
I think it's automatic.
It just uses up the hit points the
Right.
lowest first, so.
Well, the deer is definitely the lowest hit points. Oh, I gotta change the tokens. It's doing the. Oh no, I did change the token. Right? The indicators. Which one's sleep? Crap. That'll be sleep. And let's see, wolf. You put an additional wolf to sleep. Not quite enough to put 2 wolves to sleep. Very close. Is that your? You moved, right? Or
No, I
not?
didn't move. I'm gonna move now.
Okay.
Here, I guess.
This wolf is going to attack the deer with advantage because the deer is asleep.
God damn it.
And the deer is now dead.
God damn it.
Oh, well, I've been
Just attacked.
The
Okay,
next wolf is going to join its other brethren and just kind of take up a position and growl.
Varys is going to go into Berserker Rage now.
Brutus.
There was the barbarian.
Sorry.
Yep.
You don't have any ranged attacks, do you, Brutus?
I have a hand axe. But you
Guess that's all
guys
you need.
sort of in range?
Yep. For you, it is.
He is his own ranged attack.
Make sure you use your greatsword and not your fists unless you're actually punching.
Right. I finally renamed them. I
Oh.
just gotta turn off advantage.
Wow. 18 is definitely a hit. Which one are you attacking?
This one.
Okay. He takes 9 damage, which is a lot. He is not dead. He is mostly dead. And the one that is not the one you attacked is going to move up and attempt to bite you. He hits it's a critical hit. AC 24.
What bastards.
Which puts you at 0 because he does 14 points of damage. So you whack one of them, the other one comes up and just grabs the sword arm and just tears into you. If you played Red Dead, I would describe to you some of the wolf stupid shit they do to me. All right, and the deer is dead. And Varys.
He's torn. He's got a friend down, but he's also got that one killing the deer or eating the deer. So it's really hard for him. But
My dear mate!
in the end, he will help his friend.
All right.
So I will firebolt this bad boy here. Well, we know how well I do at that, but all right. There we go. Beautiful.
It's not as bad as the time you tried
Useless.
3 different spells against the shambling mound. No
Yeah.
damage, and then you healed it.
Yes,
was great.
that was awesome.
That was a good time. Let's see how he takes lightning damage. He heals. What? God damn it!
Of course, plants heal from electricity damage, obviously. All right, that's what I did.
Shadow's turn.
All right, I'm going to. Let's see. move up here safely. Is he still? Do I still get like a sneak attack? No, he took out Brutus.
No, because Brutus is no longer creating a distraction
I
for
have to
him.
be conscious and a threat.
Right.
Okay.
Now he just looks cuddly.
Now he looks like a prey.
Now I'm going to look at this cuddly wolf. I'm going to attack it with short sword.
Okay. You don't get the advantage, so you keep the 8, which is a miss. But you can take your offhand attack. Ooh, which is a crit, but terrible damage.
It's really angry.
All right. So you come down with the short sword, and the wolf is watching it, moves out of the way. It doesn't see the dagger coming up toward its neck.
Nice.
Gray Castle. You see Shadow has leapt into combat with the wolf. The wolf is not happy. All right.
Stop muting, Castle Grayskull.
Sorry. I moved to there and I cast Healing Word on Brutus.
Okay. For 8. Nice.
Heal
Very nice, very nice.
Then I will attack this guy in front of me.
Now with advantage. Now with 100% more advantage. 13 is a hit. 9 damage will
damage.
finish that wolf off.
Cool.
Alright. This
That concludes my turn.
here is actually starting to eat the deer. It is kind of not paying attention because it took it down. And this one is going to move over here and attack Brutus for cutting him into almost dead. And hits AC 14, which is a miss. Brutus returns the favor. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to speak for you.
I will punch you in the face, dog.
Yes, yes. Punch the dog. Punch it harder.
Whatever, dude.
You have slaughtered the wolf. You want to move at all?
Why am I getting these 2 different bludgeoning damages under?
I did that because I believe one of them, if you have nothing in your hands, then you do a D8.
Oh, okay.
I did that too. I couldn't remember what else I did on your sheet.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah. So as long as you're not carrying anything, it's always going to be the 12 or the bigger.
Right.
Are you going to move or no?
Yes. I'm gonna move to this wolf.
Okay. But you do not have an extra attack, so we will go to Varys.
Varys sits down. Forget it.
You're crying over your lost deer.
Yep. Oh, I hit him! Alright.
Oh, 21? Yeah. The one that Brutus is at?
Yep.
Yeah, because you don't want to wake the other guy up.
Yep.
You do, and he yelps and kind of leaps like a startled cat.
Get away from
And
my
loops
deer!
around and realizes that he's now threatened by folks. His muzzle's all soaked in deer blood. And this one is Sleepy Wolf. And it is Shadow's turn.
Alright. Move in here.
Okay.
Attack this dude.
You see 12 is just a miss. 18 is a hit. You can roll your sneak attack because you have an ally in combat. And
nice.
he is dead.
That's what you get.
Grey Castle.
Don't really want to kill the sleeping wolf. It seems kind of mean.
Don't worry, Varys will do it.
I will. Trying to think what my character would do in this situation. You actually kill the wolf?
I mean, you don't necessarily have to take an action.
That's
How long
true.
does sleep last before it wakes up on its own?
A minute.
So it's, yeah. So you're not going to ride on by before he wakes up.
You can
No.
you can use a rope and make a muzzle, and he can be your new pet.
If he wakes up, I'm gonna be able to shoo him away.
Awesome.
Wake him up either, because then he might bite me.
Okay, so as you hesitate, Brutus's
Yeah.
turn comes up.
All right.
Brutus is pissed at the wolves. So,
Sleeping
yeah,
Wolf
I
has
got-
advantage on an attack, or you have advantage on a Sleeping Wolf.
Okay.
And I would say a hit is an auto crit on a sleeping target,
All right.
but you gotta hit first. Alright, so the 23, you punch him,
Yeah.
just doing the Kirk punch. You
I'm
fold,
gonna say the sword is where I dropped.
Alright, so you can roll an additional d8. We'll take the 11 and then one more d8. 14. So you just pound the wolf into the road. The wolf goes splat.
That's what
I see
you.
the dynamic. We have the 3 meleeers and then Varys way in the back. But not for long, right, Jim?
Well, considering how badly I hit, probably forever.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
Alright.
why I first got into casters in like 4th edition. It's like, oh wait, you mean I don't have to roll? We can take that fail out of the equation. I can just cast something and it'll hit automatically.
Magic missile. We just have so few slots at this point.
Yeah.
I would love to use that, considering how bad I do.
Basil brings up the rear with the wagon, and he says, "Ah, filthy wolves! Ah, again, my friends, you have saved my bacon. And
Do we
my
get hazard
powder,
pay for this?
rope and my shovels." Oh. And Jamie sneaks into the watch party and leaves.
It's okay. You can come
I've done
back.
that. I've accidentally clicked on the game to listen, thinking I'm listening, and whoops. Yep. So there's another hour, not too long, before you arrive at the outskirts of the town of Oakhurst. Oakhurst is a small community, roughly 700, a sizable minority of halflings, and a smattering of other races. In the center of the town, you see a village hall. You see a general store, which is where the wagon is making for. You see a small shrine, a jail next to the village hall, a blacksmith clanking away on some kind of project, and the Old Boar Inn that Basil spoke of. He rides the wagon up toward the general store, and he kind of hops out and says, "Wait right here and guard my goods. I'll be right back." And he pops inside, and he says, Carowin, the goods are here." And a matronly woman, older, gray hair, comes out. She's not hunched over or anything. She's definitely, fit for her age. She looks down from the stoop, the stair, a couple stairs up to the front of the store. She's looking down, kind of giving you a once over. As Basil comes over and he throws the tarp back and he says, "I got everything you asked for, and I even have a little bit extra." "Oh, no, wait, I don't." And then he comes over and he hands each of you 15 gold. "Sorry, I actually I owe these folks. They helped me get the goods here." She kind of smirks a little bit, nods. He says, I told them that you might have a little extra for them if we got here intact." She looks at him. She says, Did you make this in writing? Is this a contract I have to fulfill?" "Well, no, I didn't." She says, "Well, then I would call this business concluded."
Oh.
She kind of looks at the group like,
Well, we're not doing any work for you again.
he says, I thought maybe you you might want to see if they could go and find the children. She again
Look, lady, I got mauled by wolves for you.
make a
Sure.
persuasion
I'm
make a
interested
persuasion check.
Anybody else?
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
The agreement we already made.
Look, I'm the only one in this party that isn't greedy.
I think Carp was talking, but not very
Yeah,
loud.
I'm just gonna turn off advantage.
Am I very quiet?
a little bit, not too bad. What were you saying? Oh,
I was just saying that I'm not sure if we should do more jobs for somebody who already hasn't followed through on their end of the deal.
That's
She,
what I'm thinking.
after you said what you said about being mauled, Brutus, she kind of points at you, says, "Hold on one moment." She goes inside the store, and she's in there for
All right, let's get
like
the cart
3
and
minutes.
leave.
And then she comes out, and she's got a pouch, or a sack, I guess, is more accurate. And she says, "Here you go. For any injuries you may have sustained." And she hands you the sack, and it's heavy-ish, and you look in, and there are 4 potions of healing in there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's more like it.
Right.
I thought it was going to be rocks for sure.
Lumps of coal.
Take this bag of rocks and beat you to death with it.
And I mean, those are technically worth 50 gold apiece.
Those
Yeah.
are, yeah,
Yeah.
those are worth more than what we would have gotten paid.
She says, "So is Basil telling the truth? Are you more than just escorts? Are you actually adventurers?
Yes, we are.
Have you heard of the Sunless Citadel?" No, you have not.
Have we?
I have not. Don't know that. I
Sure,
might
make a
have.
history. 22? All right, tell you what. Since you've been in Neverwinter for a little while, and you were starting to research adventuring before you ran into these guys, you came across reference to a citadel that used to be here. But the notes that you found don't really have much information about it. They mentioned something about a cult of dragon worshippers that used to have a base up in this direction, and then it disappeared.
Okay. Was that the dragon cult?
Maybe. It was an old fortress that was up here before we founded Oakhurst after the... And she kind of gestures back toward the volcano, which you can sort of see looming over the forest. The town abuts right up against Neverwinter Wood. We'll go back to the big map here so you can see. She says there's a ravine that opened up 40 odd years ago in the wood, and once a year goblins that live there come out and they auction off an apple that has strange healing properties. No one knows the source of the apple, and no one has been able to cultivate the seeds. We would plant them, and they would sprout, and then in the night, someone would come along and rip up the saplings. So, but it has cured diseases and other ailments, and so it is a rather coveted apple. And on midsummer every year, sometimes a few adventurer types and a few wealthy folk from Neverwinter will come up in the hopes of auctioning and purchasing this one apple. And a priest recently came through here a few weeks ago, a month ago, and had a crazy story about going down into the ravine and finding these goblins and stealing their apple. or at the very least, finding out if they can take some fruits from it or find a way to grow it. But we call it the Sunless Citadel because that's what the goblins call it. As far as I'm aware, no one has been down inside this ravine yet. If you can bring my children back, I will give you 125 gold apiece.
Sorry, did the children follow the priest?
Well, they were young adults, I guess would be a better way to put it. They were my children, but I'm getting on in years, so they were adults. Yes, it was my 2 children and their friend who fancies himself a bit of a ranger.
But we can leave him there, right?
If you can bring back my children, or if the worst has come to pass, at least their signet rings, then I will pay you this 125 gold bounty each. But I would not recommend making the journey now. It is almost sundown. You most certainly should head over to the Old Boar Inn, have Garen's stew, find a room, rest up. You do look a little beat. Kind of gestures toward Brutus. But thank you for helping Basil. Basil, thank you for making the difficult journey to Neverwinter. I will try to find someone younger and more capable next time.
Wow, Burn.
He says, of course. It was a pleasure. And he goes to each of you and he takes your hand, and shakes it with 2 hands, Nice to meet you.
It was good traveling with you, Basil. I think you're very capable for an old man.
You too. I think if you keep up that sword arm, eventually you'll be able to hit things.
Oh, I hope so.
Good luck, my friend. And he kind of trundles off with his wagon.
Thought he was going to buy us soup.
Oh yeah, he did offer to buy you soup. Sure. Let me park my wagon and I will buy your first round of stew. And drinks are on me as well.
He's really old. He
Stew's
forgets
so good.
things.
That's more like
No.
So you head over to the Old Boar to wait for Basil to park his wagon. And as soon as you walk in, there are some beautiful scents of some kind of long simmering stew, and there's a few people in there, look like farmers mostly. I don't know, a good 30% halflings in there, and they all kind of look up. You see a general looks of surprise across the room. They don't get a lot of travelers up through here. And behind the counter, there's a balding guy, big broad shoulders, apron, dirty white shirt, wiping down some ale bottles with a clean rag. Look, I threw the stereotype on its head. Yeah. And he says, "What can I get you?"
An ale for the conquering adventurers. It's on me, guys.
And water for Varys.
I think Basil's going to buy us around.
Oh, you know Basil? He does that from time to time. He's mostly good for it. Sure, I'll pour them out, and we'll see when he gets here.
I'll take the ale. Don't listen to the cat.
Yeah. He pours out 4 ales. He gives them to you and gestures toward one of the open tables. Have a seat. You having some of the stew tonight, or would you prefer something more made to order?
What's in the stew?
The stew's been highly recommended to us.
It's like it's a mix of meats, mostly cow, but occasionally we'll throw in something else, rabbit or something to add some flavor to it.
Is there
I
any
think there's
deer in it?
there.
Cow, horse, whatever's lying around.
No deer, no horse. There might be a chipmunk or 2.
Little man flesh.
But not on purpose. It just fell in there,
Backseat.
Fresh fish,
Accidentally cut off a finger. It's in the stew now. Whatever.
beef byproducts, whatever that jumped in by the beef.
Yep, some fresh cat.
Yeah, Yeah, no thanks. Wolf. A lot of wolf.
Sorry, Shadow.
Maybe I'll just order a steak.
But almost after you've sat down and while you're ordering, Basil comes walking in. And he's like, Garen, don't you take a coin from their pockets. I'm paying for it all.
Wait, Garen?
I mean, not Garen. Basil. Garen's the barkeep.
Garen's running it in now?
Garon. Garon.
Oh,
Not Garen from TSMG.
okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, let's not get too confused. But so I'm not going to worry about digging into your pockets as you get a round of. I would assume you all grab the stew, and it's good. It's been simmering like all day long, so the meat's super tender. The vegetables are nice and soft, and there's a very rich, well-seasoned broth going on. And Garen's pretty proud of it. He keeps coming by to make sure everything's good. Is it still good? Still good? Of course, of course. Basil sits down, has a bowl, digs right into it, and just leans back, and he's like, so, what are you thinking of Oakhurst, right? Nice little town?
That's very nice.
All right.
Pretty nice, yeah.
Yeah. Better than that stuffy old Neverwinter.
Well, I don't know. They all have their charm.
Yeah. But you're less likely to find hoodlums stealing your purses here in Oakhurst.
No, just old ladies.
How do you keep from tripping on all the halflings?
Well, I'm not as high up as you are, so I really don't have much of an issue.
Is this halfling stew?
I hope not. So are you thinking about taking up Miss Hercule's offer?
It's a very tempting offer.
It's not that hard to find.
I mean, she gave us these potions, and we're already here.
And that apple, what an amazing find. If I could get a piece of that.
yeah,
Maybe, I mean, the apple has to come from a tree, right?
That's what
Well,
I'm saying. If we get a branch from that thing, imagine the
that
study
would-
we could do.
that would make sense, wouldn't it? No, these goblins, they come out around midsummer, which is only what, a week, 2 weeks from now? I can't remember. But yeah, they come into town and they ask everyone how much they're willing to pay for it, and it's very strange behavior for a goblin. No offense, he says, looking at the bugbear. But generally, they don't come in large groups like that to trade and parley with the humans. The first time it was very unusual, and the guards got all up in arms. But after a time, it became commonplace. Once a year, on the same weekend, they show up. It's very strange. Very, very strange.
I wonder why.
Yeah, that is a mystery. And perhaps solving that mystery is worth some golden fame for you. Yes.
Just knowing what happens.
I really like the sound of gold.
It makes a nice clinking sound, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes. Well, I must be off. I have a lot of sleeping in my own bed to do. But it's been a pleasure meeting you all, and I wish you well on your journey.
Good travels, Basil.
And you as well. Kind of hobbles out and says, Garen, don't forget to bill me. And then he walks out the door, and Garen says, motherfucker. And then he kind of looks at your table.
How much is it?
Don't worry about it.
And let's just keep eating. How much can we put in this guy's tab?
Now, between the 3 combats and, quote, turning in a quest, I will give you level 2. Exactly 300 XP.
Put in 300.
Because I'm trying to do XP and not milestone. So that's why I said that third encounter happens, I needed just enough XP to hit the 300. We can stop the stream if you want to level up.
It's up to you.
Well, I'm pausing my recording on my end, the audio.
Let's see. Stop streaming.